Hi everybody, I am Stephanie, the Crafty Medic, and as you can see, I have picked the Hooray for Surprises stamp set, and it's actually a bundle to show you today. And the reason why I picked this is that it can be a little bit tricky. It's a little bit maybe intimidating in the catalog or a little bit confusing in the catalog, so I thought I would show you how to use this. And you can use this kind of idea that I'm going to show you to work with this stamp set and make some really fun interactive cards. And you can apply kind of the same principle to whatever size card that you're working with or whatever size layers you're working with. I'm going to be working with some pretty small layers, but you can do the same thing on a bigger size for a card front or something like that. Now, like I said, this is going to be an interactive card, so there's going to be a little bit of like a pull tab to reveal a sentiment. It's really fun. I'll just go ahead and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so the first thing we've got is we've got these little dies, and I think it was Diane that gave this super cool hint. This is now how I store my dies while I'm using them, while I'm saving them for a project I'm going to do tomorrow. And these are just little like mechanics tool trays. I've got them in a few different sizes, and they're magnetic, so my dies actually stay in them. I just thought that was super cool, and thank you, Diane, for sharing that. So this die has a few little gaps in there. So it's going to cut out this heart and this little pull tab, but it's actually going to stay all together when we die cut it. So I've got a few different pieces for that. I've also die cut a larger layer that's going to kind of be our focal point on this card. And then I've got two pieces of cardstock. One's going to be for my sentiment underneath, and one's going to be for my pull tab over top. And it's really important that these are the same size. And then the other piece that I have is just a piece of copy paper. And I literally pulled this out of my printer and cut it to the exact same size as my two basic white pieces. And that's the trick for this, is all three of these pieces need to be exactly the same size. Whether you're doing 4 by 5 1/4 to do a full card front or whatever, that is completely up to you and your design. Those three pieces have to be the same size. So I'm going to take my die, and I'm going to take my basic white piece is going to be on top, and then my copy paper is going to be on the bottom. And I'm going to layer them up like this, and I'm going to grab my die cut and emboss machine here, and I'm going to run this through just like that. And I'm going to center it on there. And now my pieces are big enough that they don't need to be taped down, but you could use some washi tape or some sticky notes to tape them down if you find they're moving. We're going to crank this through. And this is really the hardest part of this whole project, because what you've got now is you've got your piece on the front that's going to actually show up on your card, and then you've got the copy paper behind that you can use as a template. So we're actually going to pop the little heart out of here so that we have a frame, because now when we line this up on top of our other piece, we know exactly where that hole is going to be, and we can layer these pieces easily. So I'm going to get to stamping here. So I'm going to leave this on here. And as you can see, I've got my glass mat here. I'm so excited. I really, really like working with it. It gives a nice sturdy base to my project. The only thing I don't like is it's really shiny. So in my video, you can see the reflection from my light there, which I know some people have already come up with solutions for. I am just choosing to embrace the glow today. All right, so I've got my sentiment stamped onto this back piece, and I've got this fun little heart with some tulips on it that I'm going to stamp on here. And this is again where photopolymer stamps just shine, because you can line them up and stamp them pretty accurately. We'll see how well I did here. Maybe. There we go. And I'm going to do a little bit more stamping here too. And I'm using really big blocks, and that's kind of on purpose so that I can see where I'm stamping. Like most of these stamps would fit onto teeny tiny little blocks, but I actually like working with these bigger blocks. It just, I feel it gives me a little bit more control and a bit of freedom as to what I can see around what I'm stamping, if that makes sense. Now I'm not using the template for this part because I just want to kind of sprinkle these little flowers around the sentiment. And I actually don't care if they're not completely visible. I kind of want them to be tucked in behind a little bit. So I'm going to stamp kind of where I think it's going to go. And then I'm going to just check it with this and see if there's any spaces. See how some of those are going to be covered up a little bit? And that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So that's actually really nice positioning, but if I needed to fill in some spaces or something, I could. I did do one little extra piece on another card, but I think I'm just going to leave it for this one, and I'm going to show you the little instruction stamp is so cute. It's this tiny little stamp that says pull. And I'm just going to put that right on where that little pull tab is. Can you see that? So it's going to kind of give the instruction to pull that aside. And now it's really just layering these up. So I'm going to use some glue and dimensionals. I've got a background layer here that I've already put through on the embossing folder. This is the Celebration ribbon, the crinkled ribbon in Pool Party. Super fun. I love these kinds of ribbons for tying bows and just kind of adding some texture to your card. I'm going to use my tear and tape to tape it to the back because I have no idea where my glue dots went. I'm sure they are here somewhere under a pile of stuff. So if it wasn't crystal foggy clear with the other videos that we've posted, Celebration, you can, when you spend $60, you would get this ribbon for free, or I'll show you the embellishments in a moment too. I put all my bone folders up here. That's silly. I'm supposed to have everything on my desk so I can just grab it whenever I want. Putting things away. Who do I think I am? Someone organized, apparently. So we're going to glue this layer on here, and all the precise measurements for this are going to be in the tutorial bundle that you can buy. So that's our fundraiser for Doctors Without Borders. And I'm going to layer this up. I'm going to glue this flat layer, or this sentiment layer, onto the cardstock just because I don't want to use too many dimensionals. Otherwise, all of these layers are going to start adding up, and this is going to be a thick card. So we're going to do that. Now you could glue this on top as well. You know what? Maybe I'll do that, and I'll show you that, and then I'll show you the other one where I use dimensionals. So if you're gluing this, and same with the dimensionals, you don't want to put anything on this middle section here. You want to just glue around the outside, because otherwise you are not going to actually get the interactive part of this whole experience. Now, I did something else, and you'll see it in my other card, but this little pull tab here can be a little bit challenging to pull up, so I'm just actually going to kind of give it a little bit of a bend here so that it's a little bit more obvious what you're supposed to do with it. And then we're going to pop some dimensionals on the back here. Beautiful. And then this is just going to go right on the front of our card here. And then we could put a little bow on here, or a big bow, depending on whether you want to be a big bow person or a small bow person today. With this ribbon, it's a little bit more obvious to do a big bow. And then we've got the lovely embellishments as well, and these are in the same colors: Pecan Pie, Pool Party, and Calypso Coral. Again, Celebration item. So that's super fun. And you can pop those on there, and I'm going to show you how this works. So this is the other one that I did. So this one I added this little tab here so that it makes it easier to pull off, and I put everything up on dimensionals. And then when you're ready to make the magic happen, you would just boop, pull that out, and then you've got your sentiment there. And it's just a super fun little interactive thing. Um, I still have to come up with some ways to use the little extra piece. Um, but yeah, there you go. This could actually, oh, I just had a really cool idea actually. I don't know if anybody remembers card candy. Like that used to be a swap that we would do as card candy, like just little embellishments to put on. But that would totally be like to give this to somebody who is a card maker and have this be like super decorated. And then they can like take this and put it on another card. That would be super cool. Anyways, so that's it. It's super easy. It's not at all as scary as it may look at first. The actual dies have a whole bunch of these little interactive features. And another pro tip, outline your dies first before you take them out. So then you know exactly where they go back to. But you can see we've got the heart. There's another heart if you wanted to cut that shape out. Without the tab, and then there's these two circle tabs, and then this one pulls a long strip, so you would have like a strip across your card. There we go. That is the project. That is the Hooray for Surprises bundle. I'm so excited for you to see everybody's projects. Don't forget to leave comments, to place orders, to join people's teams if you'd like. This is the time of year to do all of those things with Celebration. So happy stamping, and on to the next presentation. Bye.